G'day guys. Someone sent me the magic box. The Minelab knockoff. Gold Seekers GDX-8000 with a big long note. And I know what the note says. Doesn't ground balance. Right? I bet you it actually, I haven't even looked. I bet you it says does not ground balance. So I'll have a look. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay. I'm not going to say any names, but dear sir, I'm writing to ask if you could please find the fault in my machine. I have tried 3 different coils with the same result each time in big letters. I can't get the machine to ground balance. Oh, I've heard that before. Please let me know as soon as possible how much it's going to cost. I can pay over the phone or bank transfer. I have also enclosed a return label. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Yeah. I don't think that you could see the name. It's pretty scribbly, so that's all right. But I have to leave it there on this. But first of all, is this a Minelab clone, or is it got a VLF board in it and a big piece of iron to give it weight? I don't know. I'm going to pull it apart and find out. Might as well do it right now. I was actually going to do a talk on batteries, and I thought this might be more interesting. Yeah. Anyway, let's drop the back off it. Actually, using the correct screws that Minelab use, exactly the same. Not joking. Okay. Very carefully. When you undo these screws, make sure you, the Torx bit actually goes in and clicks. Because if you don't, it'll go for a skate across the face of the detector. And you don't want that. So we'll pull these out and we'll have a look and see what's going on in here. It might be the clone, it might not be. We'll crack it open. Whoops, there we go. It's a GPX-4500 clone. There you go. Don't like the way it's all crushed up on the plug. I don't know if you can see that there on the back of the socket. So, yeah, it's been done pretty hard. So, they're amazing, aren't they? Exactly the same. One thing though, I like their rotary encoders. Very clicky, got a nice feel to them, so that's a positive. But yeah, these are the designs that the Chinese got hold of when they got into code and servers, and after all the military stuff, and ended up with all the metal detector stuff as well. So I probably shouldn't mention that. I think the guys at Minelab and Coden probably cringe every time they hear that, but it's factual. Don't leave your laptop in your hotel room. I think that's the message there. When you go to China, you never know what'll happen. Ah, dear me. But yeah, I've been told by a lot of people over the years how, why, and all the rest of it to do with that. But anyway, let's have a look. Let's see what we got. Oh dear me. Okay. Okay. Yeah. It is. Look at it. exactly the same. If I get a 4500 and put it next to that, it would be absolutely identical to the micromillimeter. There is no difference. And yeah, but what I got told is that these don't ground balance, because the final setup of ground balance, even though they're made, these were probably made in Malaysia. I mean, the real ones, the real Minelab ones, were made in Malaysia or China, that the final setup on these is done here for the ground balance. And the what we call it, the rumor is, I can't prove it, so it's a rumor, isn't it? The rumor is that, that these don't have the final ground balance done on the detector. So I don't know if that's actually true, or it's just a bit of a way of saying don't buy Chinese clones. You shouldn't buy Chinese clones. I mean, Minelab put a lot of money into designing and making that, and then just got thieved, basically. Well, you know, that's a nice way of putting it, thieved, isn't it? So yeah, we'll see how we go. That's definitely the old 4500 board. It's not the 5000 style board with the yeah, software changed. Okay, well that's under hot melt glue. So just having a look at the way they finish these, it's a bit interesting to say the least. But my God, you know, every time I get these, I'm absolutely amazed. I won't grab a Minelab board because it just looks the same, and it is just absolutely more or less a dead ringer. I just can't see any difference, none whatsoever. But there's one thing here. I'll get my special brew of paint remover, and I've got batteries charging on the bench. I'm fixing up a clone. No joke, it's a clone. Oh, you can have a look at it on the bench there. If I can bend that, oh, I'm going to loosen that, bend it down. This is a clone battery for GPXs. Super Gold Finder comes from you know where, and yeah, I just had a spare one of these cell packs around. It's got one in there as well, and I'm just using it through its own circuitry to charge both. I'm charging one, then I'm charging the other. I haven't charged it. I don't think I've ever used it. I had it kicking around for quite a while, and I thought it might be a time to charge the lithium batteries before they go to 0 volts and never come up again. But both cell packs are perfect, sitting there drawing nearly an amp each. Make sure it's not getting hot. No, it's fine. So anyway, I'll go back onto this gadget, and I need to find some. I know I'll get the magic stuff down here, and I'll see if I can attack the Chinese paint. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. Hang on, I'll just tip that in there. I don't want to tip it on anything, it'll eat through everything in place. I'll put it where I won't kick it over. So we'll try this magic brew. Not that you can see, but we'll just see it. I just want to see if it attacks. Come on, baby. Yep, we have liftoff. And as you can see, where I've kissed those two input op amps, bang, straight off. So you can do these. Let's see if they've left all the part numbers on, or bothered grinding them off. Sometimes they leave the part numbers on. Sometimes they grind them off. I've had some that have all the part numbers on them. And where's my 4? I think these have been ground off, unless my eyesight's failing terribly. But yep, they've actually. Oh, gee, that's vicious. It's like trying to make a cabochon out of it. Yeah, they've actually ground the part numbers off, but that's neither here nor there. The reason being that I have all the part numbers on these things anyway, so it don't make no difference. I'll just give it another. I'll just check here, just see if these 2022s have the part number. Oh, I just said what they are. If they've been ground off as well. Yep, they're getting smart. Because I were putting some of these out in the past with all the part numbers there, and now they are taking the part numbers off. They must have learnt that from somebody. I wonder who that could have been. But you know, if you ever want to know what the parts are in these things, you can always ask me. You always send an email. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Paint straight off those, no problem. So you can get the paint off. We'll have a look at the chips. See if they've gone and ripped off the numbers off the Hitachi chips. You never know. Yuck. I'm just eating through the paint there, not a problem. Yep, they scrubbed the number off the H8 too. So the thing is, we all know what they are, so I don't know what they're doing that for. It's where all the smarts live. Yeah, so anyway, you can take the paint off these. That's getting pretty laid up with paint. Let's have a look. Yeah, I'll clean this right up. You have a look. Yeah, as you see, they've completely removed the paint from that processor. And the funny thing is, which this is amazing. This is like full circle. The Chinese have knocked off the design for these Minelab detectors, and now they're protecting their own knockoffs by taking the part numbers off. Oh dear, it's a comedy. It really is. But yeah, it's exactly the same. It's you know, yeah. So anyway, we can go completely bonkers. Actually, I could strip the whole board down so you could see all the componentry. And the funny thing is that everything's in the code. It's pity they got that because then they can just make multiple copies, and that's what they're doing. Um, must have yeah. And and as far as I know, not many of these come into Australia, as far as I know, because I'd be seeing a lot more of. I think a lot of them go over to Africa. I've got my 4 eyes on. I'm looking like a frog eyes or something. But a lot of these go over to, well, they get distributed through United Arab Emirates, as far as I know, in my opinion. I've been told, it's also my opinion, and they get distributed into Africa. So, yeah, hear all sorts of interesting things that occur. But anyway, this thing doesn't ground balance, and I guarantee you it won't ground balance. It just won't. I've had these boards before, and there was actually tracks missing off the board through the etching process. There was no tracks there onto some of the components. So, you know, I've actually had of these, I've actually made some work, and they did ground balance, but I don't like doing it. I really don't like doing it because you know, it's really profiteering from intellectual property theft. So I've told a few people don't send them to me, but this one's come in. So you know, we'll have a look at it anyway. We'll just see if we can make it work. I don't know if it'll work. I know it's going to beep and bop and carry on, but it might not work on my Kalgoorlie hot rocks. So I can. I don't want to get that stuff anywhere. Thank you. Back in there and I'll lock it. It's a volatile mix, and yeah, I don't really want to get anywhere now. I've got this thing charging, and how about take it off charge, just give it a rest, put it over there, get it away, and what do we got here? Beauty. We're going out doing some testing tomorrow, so I've got spare batteries and things here. I'm just going to hook this up and just see if it works. It may work, it may not. We'll see. Let's clear off some clean off the metal off the workbench. It's probably a damn good idea. So we'll put that over there while I reattach. While I don't want that coil. That coil's not going to work. It's a 6000 coil. I'm doing a couple of 6000s at the moment. So this whole place is full of. If I show you the floor, it's yeah, it's like detectors are like mushrooms. They're just everywhere at the moment. It goes nuts. You have cycles of massive amount of detectors come in for modification, upgrades, and fixes, and all sorts. And yeah, it just gets a bit out of control. So what I want that and that. And I'm going to get myself. I'll get myself a coil. Oh my god. Okay, come here, you. I'll get myself. Yes, it's a double D coil. I always squeeze the windings. Oh, sorry, not the winding. I squeeze the wire, the cable. If it's flat, you know it's a double D. So we'll see what happens anyway. I'll plug this in there. Dare I screw it up? Yeah, I'll screw it up. I'll use my little Chinese Alibaba or AliExpress vices just to hold the cable. So if anything falls, it doesn't rip everything off the bench. So I'll put that there. We'll put that power in there, and the audio and everything else and data go in there. We'll get this, give it some power, juice it up. Okay, and I'll put my amplifier on. She's on, and I'm going to hit the button and see what happens. Makes sound like a mine lab. Whoa! Throw that at the cancel mode real quick. Oh my god. It's got a bit of a sad sound to it, hasn't it? Yeah, see, let's stick my head in there and have a look. Oh my god. That was an enhance. It sounded horrible. Digging deep. Put in tracking. Now, there's something wrong with it. I can tell already. It's just so chattery, even in cancel, on enhance. Let's go back there. Oh, that's quieting down now. Don't blow on it too hard. Okay, let's have a look what she's in. It came up with GDX-8000 on the screen. Yeah, 120. Oh God, it's exactly everything's the same. Even comes up in the inverted audio to start with. So anyway, we've got this here. I'll turn the audio up a bit so we can hear it now. I don't know why it went completely bonkers, but it did. Now let's get a big Kalgoorlie hot rock and we'll see if we can ground balance this thing. It's going to be a bit of a laugh. So I've got the Kalgoorlie special, and I'll just do what I do to all the other ones. Let's go fixed, tracking, and it doesn't track all the way out. When a normal detector would, it would track it all the way out. Let's put it back in enhance. I can actually measure on the IC pins to see if we are tracking, but whoa, dear me. Now, on enhance, it should track straight out. It doesn't. It won't track all the way out. So maybe there's some truth to the final setup that MindLab do to these detectors that allow it to track fully. This is not. So yeah, I know that the people, the knockoff manufacturers, hate me saying this, but beware. In a lot of cases, you're going to get what you pay for. And in some cases, you're going to get a lot less for the little you pay for. It's just the way it is. That's just being factual. It's a bit screwy. So it is what it is. I can delve a little bit further into this and have a look, just do some measurements and so forth. But if it is any adjustment done in software, as in some, automated trimming or something like that, you're not going to get into it. You're not going to be able to do it. So you've got to offset it in other ways that is not done in the micro. So I don't know. Like I say, I don't design these things. I just sort of love working out how they work and what we can do to them. So as I say, I've been doing that for a while. But yeah, that's a bit screwy, that one. But anyway, what I was going to actually do the video on, well, things turn up. Get that one off there. Let's just having a look at this. Oh, dare I wiggle it around? This came in for repair. This is has it got a name on it? Yes, it has. It's under there. Hang on. Is it? Oh, there you go. Give them a plug. Coiltek. GPX battery system, constant output, audio boosted. All warranty void if seal is broken. Oh, I just freaking screwed up the warranty. But yeah, this is dead as a dodo. And if you have a look, it's actually an interesting thing because here we go. I call these things I don't know thermite packages. But anyway, that's 5,000 milliamp hour, 3.7 volt cells. So I would say that these are all wired up in series to give a little bit more than 12 volts. And obviously if you have a look in here, the big regulator in there, I don't know if you can see it, I'll stick my finger on it there, just there, big regulator in there. And there's a little, it's an LM386 audio amplifier IC next to that as well. And it's got jumper points. You can actually set various voltages on this. Let's have a look. What do we got? Here we go. We've got links. You just put solder across the link points there, and it'll give you a selection, three odd voltages to run GP, GPXs, and SDs, I think. So interesting enough, they're running a PTC thermistor on the, looks like it's on the output there. It has added protection. It has a battery protection board connected up as well, and yeah, quite okay. And the giveaway too, I should have said this. When I handle these, I'm so damn careful. They can deliver a lot of energy really quick. So I'm glad there's a protection board on it. But yeah, you get back in there. Don't you dare short out on that. If you do that, I will scream. And for a spacer, there we go. Does that look familiar? That looks like a coil, part of a coil. It's a plastic, the ABS they use for making their orangey, brownie coloured coils. So yeah, they probably have a lot of scraps left over from their vacuum forming, and they stuck that in there as a spacer. It's a good idea. Yeah, the other thing I thought was interesting on this too, I'm just going to make mention of this just so people know. Like I'm not having a go at anything here. I'm just, those packs are a bit bulgy. I don't know if that, when they say lithium batteries start doing the convex, yeah, well, yeah, that's convex. I can feel that. That's got a good rise in the middle of about 3 millimeters. So, yeah, anyway, I don't know the history. I don't know if it was looked after or not looking. I've got no idea. So we're not going to venture into anything to do with that. Get away from that metal. But I've noticed here it has this. This is interesting. Headphone and speaker volume on the back, and I said headphone and speaker volume. How do they do that? Headphone and speaker in the one, and it works, right? You turn the pot full one way, and it's a direct connect to the audio amplifier to the plug, and you get direct connect 1 watt audio out, whatever the LM386 wax out. And the pot's a 1K pot, so you start winding it back a bit. It's actually the pot spinning. There we go. You start winding it back a bit, and you start adding resistance in series. So instead of being able to drive, say a speaker which is either 4 or 8 ohms or something, whatever it may be, you give it full belt, full turn on the pot, so there's no resistance going to it, so it'll give full output. And if you just turn it a little bit, you start adding a few ohms into it. And if you want to adjust headphones normally for detecting are not 8 ohms. You can use 8 ohms, but most of them aren't. Most of them are 32, 16, or derivatives, unless you use the ones we supply, which are the absolute bee's knees, or the duck's nuts, however you want to say it. This is a 1K pot, so you can actually put 1,000 ohms in series with very sensitive headphones and lower your volume down. It's actually a good idea. If you've got headphones that are available that are very high impedance headphones, not just the standard 32 or 16 or 8 ohms. But that would be handy, especially on our headphones that we do, because we use the whole system's a high impedance, very, very sensitive system. So anyway, that's that. That's a battery. That should have been the video, but yeah, a lot of grunt in that when you think about it. Yeah, that's making sure the metal plate didn't fall on the battery terminals. That would have been horrible. So anyway, the GDX. Now I'll tell you what. I've been told. But this will explain a lot. I'll turn this around a bit. I've been told that people selling these, I don't know if it's coming directly from the company or where it's coming, but gold seekers. They call themselves gold seekers with high pulse and multi-frequency. Fantastic. Multi-frequency. Okay. Warranty void if removed. Okay. Yeah, the warranty sticker. But yeah, you look at the whole shebang. It is what it is what it looks like, but made to look like it's not. If I get a, come here, you. Yeah, I mean, we get our Mind Lab case. Oh, dear me, Jesus, it came out of the same extruder. It's an absolute dead ringer. It is. I'm not joking. It looks like it came out the same extrusion machine. Is there any differences? No. It's absolutely made within the millimeter to exactly how. Yeah, it's a little bit less thick on the inside on some of the channels, but yeah, it is what it is. I'm not having a go, but I'll tell you what's happening. Okay, they're selling these detectors, and they're actually they must have success somewhere, uh, possibly over in Africa, because what's the soil over in Africa? Well, where they're detecting it in places like Somalia, it's all sand, right? It's inert. There's a lot of places that does not have massive, heavy mineralisation like Australia, and even parts of the US can have some heavy mineralisation. But most of the world is very light in mineralisation, and I think these work in Africa, and that's what happens when they come to Australia. People say, "Oh, we'll go use it on the Australian goldfields," and a frick won't ground balance. So there is an issue there, and with that non-ground balance thing, I go straight back to Charles Garrett with his detectors when he first sent them over to Australia, and everyone said they wouldn't ground balance. And the old story, I've said it in previous videos, that they're going rubbish. You're not using the detector properly. So he came over to Western Australia and tried to ground balance one of his detectors, and it wouldn't ground balance. So yeah, I think he went back to the States with a tub of dirt, and they made adjustments and fixed the problem. And that was one way around the problem. Then you had Bruce Candy fix it once and for all with one of his initial patents on ground balancing, and with that little bit of a tweak offset in there. You can go read the patent. God, ancient patent now, but it's still there somewhere. So yeah, don't ground balance on Australian dirt, rocks, or whatever. I could go put on a big tub of dirt and bounce a coil up and down. I bet you it won't ground balance. It might come close, but that offset is going to really stuff up your gold tally. It's going to hide signals. It's going to nullify things. It's going to enhance things that like you don't want enhanced. Maybe it just lights up every hot rock and obscures every nugget. I don't know. you know, I haven't gone out and used one of these. I don't think I would, but it probably work. It might work on beach sand or something like that, or it probably work on pipe clay. But I'm not guaranteeing or saying anything apart from what it presents at first glance. They've all basically done the same. They won't ground balance. So be aware. I'm sorry, Chinese people who make this. I don't know. Hope it's not the ones I know over there. Um, but because you don't know, they won't tell you. So there's yeah. I talked to a few Chinese, and they're in this field, but I don't know if they are the ones behind it or not, and I don't really want to know. But yes, this 8000 thing, just NQR, not quite right. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is. If I get a proper Minelab detector up there and do the same thing, it's going to ground balance. It's going to go whoop, 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 and ground balance smooth as. It's not going to have any residual. And yeah, I think seeing it happen like that is how you understand it. Yeah, well, can't say much more about that. You know, do you want me to clean the whole board and show you the whole board with no paint on it? Oh dear me. Get a white marker and mark all the numbers on the chips. No, I won't do that. Even though we look, over the years we've had a bit of fun with Minelab, haven't we? We've you know, we've probably stirred them up a bit and upset them on numerous occasions. But you know, you just got to be careful with big corporate entities. You don't want to upset them too much because you know they'll set their internal legal team onto you and send you nasty letters. But like I say, they would probably think it best if I got this and dropped a brick on it or something like that. But it's not my property to do so, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have a quick look at it, just see what's going on. I want to find out what's going on. Have a deep dive into this ground balance problem because some of it I fixed by changing some components, but then I'm told that it's in the software. It's how it's finally set up. I don't know what is the truth of the matter. You know, do I believe what I'm told or do I believe what I experiment with and has someone put the wrong parts in there? I don't know. I don't know, really. I'm going to do a deep dive on this and find out. I should be doing my repairs and I'm not going to show you. It's just all over the floor down there, but there's stacks of stuff. And we've got to go out and test some of it too. Yeah, that's enough waffle on this one, I think. I hope that was of some interest. Hope that might have saved you $1 too, maybe. I don't know. We'll have a look at this anyway. Yeah, I think Doug, that's your detector, Doug. I think it is. Yes, Doug. I was looking at the label. But you know, we'll see. I hope you didn't pay much for it. I don't know. I don't want to know, but I will. I'm going to do it just as a an educational exercise. Okay, this is an educational exercise. It's basically not really a commercial endeavor. So yeah, um, I'm going to educate myself. Something like that. Anyway, you know, catches.